Hi everyone, welcome to Orinda Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi. I'm your host Orinda, and today we're talking about Babylon 5 with Jonathan Ford. Creator J. Michael Straczynski, ambitious and complex futuristic space opera charts 5 years in the lives of those aboard the titular 5-mile-long space station, where personal drama plays out against a tense political backdrop of looming war between bitter enemies, the Centauri and the Noun. I remember when it was on the television, I loved the series because it came close to Star Trek. Even the storyline and characters were fun, although there were some of the episodes I didn't understand. But that would be logical because I was 9 when it aired. I was surprised and happy that there was a romance between Commander Sinclair and Delenn. I always hoped that they would be together, although, if I am correct, she also had a double agenda. And of course, Walter Koenig is playing in a few episodes. Well, my guest today is Jonathan Ford. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Okay, thank you. Nice to be with you again.
Yes, it's a short time ago we spoke to each other. So, it's Babylon 5 today. What I wanted to start with is, I don't know if you have heard the news or read the news already, but they are going to make a new reboot of Babylon 5.
Oh, right. No, actually, I hadn't heard that, so you've got more information than me. Very good.
Yeah, it's been all over social media, so I also...
Why hasn't it got to me? I must be reading the wrong pages or whatever. Yes. Yes.
But okay, I think it's for you delighting news or not?
Yes, it's good. Let's hope it. Yes, I'll read something about it now. But it sounds good. Yes, it sounds a good thing. Whether it'll be the same as the original, well, it won't obviously be exactly the same. But I hope that it'll be just as good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that then.
Yeah, we hope that it is gonna be good and that the cast will be good as well, of course. What is Babylon 5 to you?
Right. Well, we'll speak of course, the Babylon 5 that I know. Yes. So I can't say that when I first discovered it. But yeah, I had a friend who was a local friend who was very much into it, and so I used to watch most of the episodes around with him, and so it was he who got me into it, really. I suppose that I would say that it's a good series. I for those of you will know this, particularly in the Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It's a bit like that in the sense that it was set on a...
That's why I always said it's Babylon 5 is close to Star Trek in a way.
Yes. Yeah, I would say that a couple of things about it that's different, I think, is it was of the more, shall we say, rough and ready than Star Trek, I think, in the situations that that it dealt with, came across. Not saying that Babylon 5 wasn't well organized or anything, but it was the case that it was a more, I suppose, you had to be more security conscious actually on the station than they seem to do of Deep Space Nine being that there was all kinds of people coming and going. Well, I suppose, again, Deep Space Nine was like that. But it was different somehow. And it was also, it's probably obvious in both Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5, but it was somehow more real in Babylon 5 that the actual effects were effects. I don't know quite how to put it, but it was of the star field and all the ships were effects. I don't know what difference that makes. I think it may have made you concentrate more on the actual characters who weren't always as white as what they seemed. So it was more about the characters in it, I suppose.
Well, they are more colorful than ever. Not even as well the characters as everything around them. That was what one thing I always noticed, and also I do think DS9 and B5 is just in one way the same, but also very different. And what I always think of B5, it's just sometimes it's very chaotic. And if you see, for example, the battles in space, it's so super intense. And yeah, I think that was a whole new concept in that era of making series or movies.
Right, yes. Very true. Yeah, yes. So that was pretty good.
So,
Yeah.
let's start with Captain Sheridan. He became the commander of B5 very soon after the first commander left. What is your opinion about him? Because he has a very large story arc in Babylon 5.
Yes, I mean, I think that that he was pretty good, and he was a good captain, and yes, I think he was a good captain, controlling the ship, and yes, so I thought he was quite a good character. Fitted in well, was quite diplomatic, which you had to be on a ship like that. So yes, it was good. He was a good captain, I think. Yes.
If we can compare the captains from Star Trek and him, do you think there is a lot of difference in them?
I mean, I probably would say that not a lot of difference with. I think that the Star Trek, the DS9, was perhaps a little more well organized in terms of the hierarchy, and you have to be communicating with the Star Fleet quite regularly and obeying the rules and whatever. On Babylon 5, dare I say, they had to play things a little bit less by the book because of the situations that he was dealing with, perhaps. But having said this, I'm not. I haven't hugely got into DS9 much. I did enjoy the pilot episode, Emissary, and I haven't. But I haven't really seen a lot of others. I've seen bits and bobs. A few of these here and there, but not overly watched it. Not because I didn't particularly like it, but just suppose time and things like that.
So later on, Captain Sheridan is married to Delenn. What do you think about that?
Yes, well, I mean, that was quite interesting, and yes, it was interesting from a point of view that Delenn was some kind of transformation, and they obviously ended up as being quite a good couple. One of my favorite episodes, in fact, of DS9 is the final one, the final episode, Sleeping in Light, is called. And that's where Sheridan eventually dies, and Babylon 5 comes to an end, and the actual physical Babylon 5 comes to an end as well. It's actually destroyed, but you get the feeling that they've been a very loving couple over the years, and that yes, and that they got on well and had respect for each other. So yes, they were maybe it was a slightly odd couple in the beginning, but I think grew to be a good couple at the end. Yes, and she obviously missed him a great deal when he was known to be dying, and yes. So that final episode is one that I watch, and it always brings a tear to my eye.
I always thought that, and I always had the feeling that Delenn had a double agenda.
Right. Yes, you may be right there. Yes. Not only was she was also working for her people a little bit as well, I think. Yes. Yes, you're right there.
Well, there is a other character in the whole show that I think was very interesting, and that was Kush. And there was also in one of the episodes that I think that was one of the latest episodes that Sheridan sat in one of the space metros, and everybody left, and there was a bomb in that cabin. So he override the doors and he jumped out of that carriage, but he fell down to the earth with a much speed, and Kush was the only one who could save him. And that was the first time you see Kush in his real identity and form, and that was very special, I think. But it was, I find him very, how must I say this? And this is, forgive me, but once again, a Star Trek reference here. Do you remember in Enterprise when Jonathan Archer was kidnapped and he went there with the sphere builders and the zoo animals in the water container?
Oh, yes, right, yes.
It reminds me of them.
Yes.
I don't know why, but yeah.
Right, well, yes, that's right. And it's interesting, of course. I mean, it's interesting having, I think, having the humans and aliens on board as, yes, and you have to go into kind of a different environment to meet caution and things like that. So yeah, but as you said, it was very good to see him in his newly revealed form as well. Sorry.
I must say that Babylon 5 has a lot of interesting species and aliens.
Yes, indeed. I think perhaps a little more, I don't know, as I say, perhaps a little more than DS9. And they're always kind of coming in, going, and you wonder where, you wonder who's talking about agendas, what agendas people have, who come in and what they're looking for. One of my favorite episodes, actually, apart from the last one that I mentioned, is another one with relating to Dylan. Actually, is an episode called Soul Hunter, and this is when this guy comes on injured, and obviously it is their responsibility to look after the injured alien or human. But Dylan has a very strong reaction to this chap, who turns out to be a soul hunter, and as the name implies, they collect souls, and he wanted to have Dylan's, and obviously Dylan wasn't very happy, and it turns out that he was a rogue soul hunter, actually, that you're meant to collect the souls of the dead, not to actually advance the death procedure in order to do so, which he was doing. But that's a very interesting one. That was when we first see, when I first see, I suppose, Dylan having a strong reaction to someone. So yes, he was obviously kicked out in the end. So that was good.
One of the other characters, and I must say that character makes me blood boil. So irritating he is. I'm talking about the Emperor. Yeah, he was the Emperor of Centauri.
Right, yes. He's and the two.
He's quite a character.
Yes, and the interplay between him and the other Emperor board is very interesting. They're often at odds with each other, and indeed in the first episode, I believe the ambassador is involved in disruption at a colony, and that's one of the first ideas that we get of a conflict between the two of the emperors. Yes, I mean, all that's good. That tension is always there, I think, and is sometimes a humorous tension, but always this underlying thing of he's gonna get him, or vice versa. Just remembering as well, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but there was a couple of made-for-TV movies about the establishment of Babylon 5. So there was one about the early days and one about the days in between, which they were both quite good as well. Talking about this and things like that makes me think that I should watch it again and watch a bit more of Deep Space Nine, in fact.
Yeah, I was planning to do it too. My assignment is in 2 weeks off, so we are planning to watch all the whole series of Babylon 5 and the movies.
Oh,
so
great, good. Yes.
That is just, it has been a long time ago I really saw everything, so it would be nice to see it again.
Yes.
There is another character that is very well known, I guess, and he is the chief of security on Babylon 5, and after that he became an independent investigator. We are talking about, of course, Michael Garibaldi. He is, I think, he is the left hand of Captain Sheridan, because if we talking about his right hand, then that's of course Susan, that who is his second in command.
Right. Yes. Yes.
What are your thoughts about as a woman as a second in command and his right hand? And because I do think what I really loved about her is that her quotes are awesome.
Yes. Yes. And I do think that yes, she was a very and a good, a good role model. She was the quote, the incident that I often remember her. Yeah, I remember her being very kind of military minded, I suppose, and working well and doing the right thing. Always seeming to be in control, perhaps to the detriment of herself in a way, because she prioritized work perhaps over other things that were important as well. Often remember with her, with the relationship with the woman who was going to do the from the Psycho, and because of Susan's mother's involvement with the Psycho, she then didn't react well to this woman wanting to interview her, and made it plain that that was the case. But in a moment of quite which was quite nice, at the end of that particular episode, she explained the situation, and they were having a drink at the bar, and it was always, it's never going to be a good relationship, but at least we knew more about why she was a bit reluctant to get involved with her. Yes.
What I also remember is that there was a ranger on Babylon 5, and he was more or less some kind of assistant of Susan. His name is Marcus. I don't know. In one way he was trusted, and in the other hand he was not trusted. And I think that was just because also... why do I have today all reference of movies and series? This is ridiculous. We're talking about a ranger, and his appearance reminds me of Aragorn, son of Arathorn, the ranger from the north in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right. Yes.
This is ridiculous today.
I know. Yes. I know. Well, I mean, it's good that you yes, you get those references. Yes, and of course, another member of we're thinking about the Psycho as another reference, another familiar figure to us in the Star Trek world. Of course, was the Psycho leader, if you like, and yes, so he turned up there. So that was quite good. I forget who I'm talking about now. Who am I talking about?
There was I saw a small little documentary about behind the scenes, and I thought it was also about an anniversary of it. But they showed us behind the scenes, and they showed us, for example, Gar's makeup.
Oh,
you know,
right.
the,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
one,
yes.
the one
Yes.
with the red eyes and swords.
Right.
I always saw him like some kind of a lizard alien in a
Yes.
way. But I did
Right.
like his character. But if you see those makeup for those aliens, it's Whoa, it takes so long time, and
Right, yes, yes,
wow, I was
yes,
really impressed with it that I was thinking,
yes,
okay, that was the 90s, and
yes,
they already encountered that, and then I have to think of Doc Jones, of course, who always played aliens and has always suits and the long makeup hours, etc.
right.
So, but I really enjoy watching that because behind the scenes you get um, a little bit more background in how everything is spread up,
Yes,
etc.
right. Yes, yes. So it's good to see how everything is put together. Yes, yes.
Do you have any characters that you like, or said that say it's a strong character?
Well, I think apart from Sheridan, which we mentioned, that I think uh, Commander Ivanova, but we've been
Mm,
discussing is good. Control, and yes, so I think she's a favorite character of mine there.
yeah.
I can relate to her quite well, particularly in the work related department. I'm always working at my job, and I'm always the job that I do. I think that I've got to do this particular thing in myself as well, and she was the same as that. And all work and no play is, maybe a bit strong for me, but yes. So she is my kind of favorite character who I maybe relate to more. Yeah. Yes.
What What do you think of the space station itself?
Well, I mean, it's a very impressive and yes, very. There are there there are lots of nooks and crannies which you can hide away. It seems a bit less well organized again than DS9. So yes, I mean the space station is very impressive, um, and it's well described in the opening of the series. 20,000 tons of spinning metal or whatever it is. Yes, all alone in the night gives you a real kind of feeling of it being very big and everything, but also very isolated and whatever. So, yes.
And what do you think about the spaceships as well as the
Uh,
Alliance spaceships as the alien spaceships, if I can say it like that?
yes, yes. I mean, it's good to see all of them, and nice to see the different ones coming in as well. So yes, all of that is very good. Yes, it's nice to see people coming and going. Nice to see the ships. Nice to see the various alien races and whatever passing through. So all in all, very good place to be. Quite a scary place. May be at times you've got to have your wits about you. But yes. So very good series in all ways, I think.
So, one thing still about Susan Ivanova, she reminds me of Commander Shelby
Oh right, yes.
from Star Trek TNG when the Borg
Yes,
had
right,
Captain
yes.
Picard as the cutest. For
Right,
the
yes.
people who knows also Star Trek, I think you guys gonna know this, but she reminds me of her. She is also that strong, and if she is in command, well, you better watch out, cause she
Yes, well,
will
yeah.
waltz
Yeah.
over you.
Yes.
So we already mentioned Michael Garibaldi. I think he is one of the characters that you like him or you don't like him.
Yes. Well, yes. Yeah, yes. I mean, I got to be honest, I did like him. Yes, as well, bit of a rule breaker at times, and bit of a man who did things his own way. But yes, well, I quite liked him. But I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, he is the chief of security on the station, and he doesn't do a good job of it because he's always in a fight.
Yes. Well, yes, that is right. Well, yes. He's a bit hot-tempered. Yes, indeed.
But I do like him.
Yes, indeed.
So there is another strong character that is still have to be named, and that is Dr. Stephen Francoeur,
Oh yes,
the chief medical officer.
He's another strong character, obviously interested in healing everybody, trying to heal.
Oh my God!
Yes.
You know what I just was thinking when I mentioned the chief medical officer?
Right.
Kirk, Spock, and Bones.
Yes.
Garibaldi, right. Sinclair, and him.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
But I think he also he became one of other heads because he went away as well.
Yes, this is right. Yes.
He became some kind of a head of chief elsewhere.
Yes.
Oh, what was it? I can't remember. But okay.
That.
There's another alien that is or character, if I can say it like that, is very important for Delenn. And he was her diplomat aide on Babylon 5. His name is Lanier. He was a religious caste minibari. You will not believe them. I have only film reference right now. He reminds me of the aliens from another Gene Roddenberry series, is the Star Trek Final Earth Conflict.
Right, yes. That's right, yes.
He helps Delenn with a lot of things, and that's what I said. I do think Delenn had a secret agenda. And of course, she's a diplomat, but she's also the wife of the space captain.
Yes, that's right, yes.
And I think and we also see in a few episodes, is that they had some fights about things like a diplomatic solution or...
Right. They're interested in other things, perhaps, as well. I know what you mean.
But I think it's a little bit cliche that they ended up together in a way. Of course, I liked it. But it's a little bit cliche, you know. She is very important as a diplomat, and she is on Babylon 5 to conduct tradings and etc. And to be connected in that way with the captain of the space station. Yeah, I would say that would be like a super cliche in a way, and maybe like a forced marriage, you know?
Yes. All's well that perhaps ends well, yes.
What does Babylon 5 make you like it?
Well, I don't know. It's all the interplay, I think, of all the different aliens, the comings and goings of everything, and it's just a general, the bustling place. And so I think that it's got something for everyone. Yes, so you couldn't... you never know who's going to be coming aboard and what problems or other things they'll bring with them. So, yes.
What can you tell me about what you think of the surroundings in like landscapes and or other stations or...
Yes, I think all that's good as well. All the visual effects are very good, and yes, it's well visualized. Yes, so yes, it's all very impressive, and people should watch it. Have a look. That's my thing. Yes.
Well, there is one thing I still want to say as well from behind the scenes, and I don't know if you have seen it. It's about it's a little documentary of TNT.
All right.
And well, there was one thing that very occurred out is that people did really actually have fun making the series, and
Right.
not only the actors but also the people behind the screen, and especially with the actor who plays Susan Ivanova. She really rocks. I really like her.
Well, that's great. Yes, good.
And I think she is perfectly, well, I think all of them are perfectly cast for
Yes, that's right. Yes.
their roles.
Oh yes, very good. Yes, they've done a few documentaries on that. Yes, that's great.
Is there something you'd like to add?
I don't know. I think I said it about all. As I said, I haven't watched it in its entirety or anything like it for a while. But I do say that a couple of the standout episodes for me are the last one, obviously, Sleeping in Light, and yes, and Soul Hunter is a favorite of mine. So yes, all in all, and it was nice. It was a nice thing that I used to do with my friend when we used to watch it on a Saturday evening, mostly at his house, because he had the DVDs. So again, it brings back a lot of memories in that way.
Well, maybe if the new reboot is coming out, you can watch it together again.
Yes. Well, that's good. Yes. Hope so. And I hope it will be good. Yes.
I hope so too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it actually.
Yes, I am as well. Now that I know, I didn't know. I think I'd heard a rumor, but I hadn't heard anything more than that. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I tweeted it on my Twitter because I was saying, okay, I'm doing some research for it, and then I saw one of the posts that it was confirmed that the reboot is a go. So.
Oh, excellent! Good.
Yeah.
Good. Oh well, that's nice.
Yes. So yeah, it's. Or they gonna do a real reboot of it, or they going to have a complete new cast and go further where they were ended.
Yeah.
But we need to see and wait for it.
Yes. Indeed.
Well, thank you again, Jonathan.
Okay.
It was nice talking to you again.
Thank you again. Yeah, nice talking to you. And we'll speak again soon, I'm sure.
All right.
Okay then. Okay.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening to this podcast. I try to be diverse as much as I can, and I hope you guys like it. Tell me what you think, how I'm doing with this podcast. If you have any tips for me, how I can do things better, let me know. Bear in mind, I made this podcast for fun, and I don't have to make money out of it. If you like to talk about this episode or want to comment on this episode, you can reach out on Podbean, the Facebook group, the YouTube channel, and the Discord server for Women That Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi. And I also have a Twitter account especially for this podcast at OTFASP. Orin That Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi is also listen, follow and subscribe on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcast, the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. I'm your host Orinda. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. The next episode we will talk about is Dune.